Welcome, folks. About to have the big one. Welcome, folks, to the MegaMets podcast, episode 153. We welcome back Kevin of the Sports JEDI Network as our guest co-prognosticator as we look at TNA Rebellion 2026 coming to us live tomorrow night from the Holson Center in Cleveland, Ohio.
This is going to be a big one, to say the least.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Let's get started. Who's first?
I guess I'll go first. I went first last time. You first, Jose.
Very fine, because this is a pre-show. Ryan Nemeth versus BDE.
I'm not going to lie. Ryan Nemeth is an annoying character. I mean, I get it. He's Nick Nemeth's baby brother. He needs to be pushed, but come on. Can he drop the brat comedy act already?
May as well by that point.
He's probably not going to. I'm going to give this to BDE. What about
I'm
you?
giving it to BDE just to so he can be shut up.
I think BDE wins as well because they keep emphasizing on the broadcast that he hasn't won a singles matchup yet. So I think he gets a flash pin, and of course, I think BDE wins as well.
Yep.
And then you drag the feud out to Slammiversary, where Nemeth might get that win back.
No, I think they'll be done. They'll be doing different things. This is even though the series will be 1-1, but maybe they'll do it on a random Thursday night house show or one of the tapings that we'll see.
Probably.
Point. Next up for the X Division Championship, the System's Cedric Alexander challenges Leon Slater, who is looking to eclipse Austin Aries' record of longest X Division title run. Right now, if he going in tomorrow, Slater will have tied Moose for second longest reign all time.
Yep.
Hey, Leon Slater has been an incredible champion on that run for 200 plus days as TNA X Division champion. I wouldn't be surprised if Cedric wins the X Division champion due to the fact that they're trying to bring up and elevate the system. And if they need some gold, if you want to take the system as your fashion group a little more serious, the reboot of the system. So this is a tough one. I would like to say, my heart wants to say Leon Slater, but I'm going to be different. I think we get a new X Division champion.
Cedric.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Leon. Aries' record as X Division champion has stood for too long. It's coming up on 15 years since he's held that, since that record was established?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, same
where
here.
Where do you stand, Jose?
I'm picking Leon to retain, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Let the long reign reach, and when it breaks the record,
then have him drop it.
Exactly. Let him at least accomplish something.
I mean, at the soonest, Leon would drop it at Under Siege, and at the latest, you have him drop it at Slammiversary.
I think it might lead into Slammiversary, and then he would drop it. He would fulfill the record by then.
It's true. Let me see where he's at.
I mean, let's face it, dude. You're surprised that he holds that title until right before or a little bit right before he leaves the company because his contract is up at the end of the year. So no doubt about that Leon Slater is working his final months in TNA wrestling.
That's a probable surprise. That's probable guess.
Wouldn't be too surprised if he does something like, I don't know, reinstates option C. Something I begged Moose to do before he dropped it to Leon.
And they've been teasing a lot of them being on the same stage a lot. When I mean they, I mean Leon Slater and Mike Santana. This week at the contract signing, if you saw that, where he came out, Leon, and helped Santana. They teamed up several times. Santana has left Leon alone a couple times during the tag team, being preoccupied with Steve Macklin or running away Eric Young. So could it be that Leon gets, bro, you never got my back. I've been watching you and you leave me high and dry. I'm good. You know what? I think maybe you're right. Maybe that leads to something. That's where Leon does cash in that option C against Mike Santana, somewhere between Slammiversary, in between that build or even in Slammiversary.
More than likely, they're going to do, but knowing how badly TNA can shoot themselves in the foot with booking. If they go that route, I say that the title shot is used it against all odds.
Okay. Because remember, Steve Macklin's still going to get his rematch, regardless of the fact Steve Macklin is lingering around for a rematch. Mike is
why I'm saying Macklin gets that rematch at Slammiversary, and if Slater survives Rebellion, you have him choose the burn option C at against all odds.
I have no problem with that because Leon and Santana contracts are rumored to be up. Santana in the summer, and I don't even know if he makes it past Bound for Glory, and Leon at the end of the year. So we're looking at the two champions currently right now, possibly not being in the company.
True. Anyway, moving on. Jose, you're up next.
Number 3, another singles match. Elijah.
This is just a match that is like, is it really necessary, dude? I mean, I get it. You got a drifter wanderer in Elijah.
I'm taking Elijah.
Yeah, I'm taking Elijah. Where do you sit, Kevin?
Because Aaron's looking to settle the score after that chaos, that sacrifice. The veteran, he's the veteran in this one of TNA. Who does it benefit the most? Elijah's hungry, but where does he? If Elijah wins, what path is he going? Because you have a babyface champion in Santana, and you have a babyface in Leon Slater. Unless if he's gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna go with Elijah due to the fact that I think Elijah's path is that international title, and we'll talk about why I went there. I'm not gonna go right now. I'm gonna hold off on that.
Fair enough. Nick Nemeth with Cleveland Browns legend current Bernie Kosar against AJ Francis. When we found out that Nick got attacked at Sacrifice, I was under the presumption that it was Ryan who did it because he's sick of being in Big Brother's shadow. Isn't that the usual trope?
They were teasing that. They've been throwing breadcrumbs.
That's a probable guess, yes.
I'm just saying, isn't that the usual trope with this sort of?
Yeah. That's why I said they usually they were throwing breadcrumbs and teasing, so forth with that. Yes. So especially if you heard him on the broadcast last night on the show Thursday Night Impact, the way his cadence kind of felt that way. Mets.
So why is AJ taking the credit? Is he being bribed by Ryan to say it? I don't know. If he is, I don't know. Probably. But having said that, you can't let Nick lose in his hometown. I'm giving it to him.
Yeah, and this feud is personal between AJ, like you said, admitted to be the attacker at the locker room, and they're crossing it because they have now Cleveland's Brown legend Bernie Kosar in the corner of the hometown boy Nick Nemeth. Now, this is one thing I'm going to see. If Nick Nemeth loses that match with AJ Francis, look for him leaving Cleveland with the TNA World title. Remember, he still has your Courier Shard Gauntlet. If it's a feel-good moment where he wins and Bernie Kosar and yada yada, he's not leaving the Cleveland with that World Championship. So this is a 50-50. If I have to pick right now, I'm going to say the hometown boy wins because they want to make the feel good with Bernie Kosar. But this is Cleveland, where they're already known. The host, other than the Cavaliers, they're known for disappointment.
True.
Cleveland's have been known for disappointment for years. Jesus.
I mean, then again, Cavaliers only won one damn title. The Guardians haven't won a World Series since '48. And when was the last time the Browns won an NFL title?
They never.
They're basically a legacy of failure.
Not even before the merger?
No.
Oh, yeah. Before the merger, they were pretty well. But after, not so much.
At least my Jets got one Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they made a deal with the devil for that.
Oh, that's not it's not my soul.
I know that.
True. Where do you sit, Jose?
I'll pick Nick Nemeth to win. Let him have the feel-good moment at least.
All right. Your turn, partner.
Okay, for the TNA International title, the champion Trey Miguel will face off against Mustafa Ali, who has 3 people in his corner. Tasha Steets, Jason Hotch, and John Schuyler.
Was this Mustafa's Feast or Fire cash-in or no?
I don't know.
Wasn't he? He wasn't. I think the Feast of Fire was Trey Miguel.
Oh, right. Never mind. Well, I think this one's a no-brainer. As much as we would want the hometown boy, Trey Miguel, to come out on top, you want Elijah to go after international gold, he's got to chase Ali to continue the feud. Between him and Order 4. I love Miguel, but he's basically cannon fodder here. I'm giving this to Ali.
Yeah, I'm with you. Ali is back for revenge after that great hand incident Thursday night. It's going to be a technical masterpiece. That could be easily the match of the night. No doubt about it. And I'm thinking, the numbers game, where last night Ali made that reference about not having the rascals. He's a loner by himself, other than Jada Stone that has got his back with Tasha Steele. But you still got that good hands, and you have the numbers game. I think Ali wins because, like we said, it looks like Elijah will be running that course to be the challenger for that international Ali and Elijah going forward. And the only briefcase that has not been cashed is Eric Young up against Leon Slater's X Division champion. Just for a side note.
Surprisingly, the X Division. I thought it wasn't going to be put on the line.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Leon gets mugged at the end of his match with Cedric and Eric cashes in on him then.
I mean, that'd be cleansing. That's a cleanse.
Yeah, that would be the case.
So we're all in agreement, Mustafa.
Yeah, I think we're getting a new international champion, Mustafa Ali.
Fair enough. Next up, 6-woman hardcore country tag match as the Elegance brand, Ash, Heather, and M, with Mr. Elegance and the personal concierge, take on TNA legends, Taryn, Terrell, Mickie James, and the one dirty bitch.
I like the. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this might prove to be an interesting match, to say the least.
I would love to see how much. I wouldn't be too damn surprised if ODB actually brings her food truck down from Minneapolis into the building and then basically kicks the shit out of the Elegance Grant and force feeds them all that pulled pork and beef.
Well, it is a no DQ, and it's going to be pure chaos. So I like the Legends to win this here, the Knockout Legends to beat the Elegance brand. It's going to be like a comedy 6-woman knockout, fun match. But one thing that worries me, the longer I get Ash and her, the cringier she gets with her screeching and stuff. So I don't know how long they're going to give this. If they give me a nice 12-minute, 15-minute fun match where the Knockout Legends do their hits, I'm for it.
I was taking the Legends anyway. What about you, Jose?
I'm probably going to pick the Legends.
Fair enough.
Now we move on to another singles match. Moose with Alicia Edwards in his corner against Special Agent Zero.
No brainer. Moose wins here. I want to see Special Agent get knocked off his high horse. I mean, it's power against power, and basically this is the build into Slammiversary, where if Santana loses to Eddie tomorrow night, which odds are kind of steering the way that he probably will, then it will lead to Moose versus Edwards at Slammiversary, where Alicia finally stabs Moose in the back.
I think it'd probably be hinting at it.
You agree, Kev?
I agree with your thoughts, but this is still TNA. True. And one thing that worries me about it is the way their logic sometimes, because you had that situation at Full Sail where Mike Santana losing to all the NXT castaways. I'm like, it didn't make sense. They do things sometimes that are head scratchers. I wouldn't be surprised if Alicia Edwards on Rebellion turns on Moose then against Agent Zero, because they got to make Agent Zero look strong. Yeah, I know we don't know much of him, but damn, on Moose's expense, and one way of doing that is the numbers game or Alicia with the low blow, and then we're off in the races there, turning on her, and now Moose really wants more revenge on Eddie Edwards. I agree with you. This more spicier is when Alicia turns on Moose while she's taking on her husband. But I think TNA is going to want to be cute because everybody's expecting that, and they want to throw a curveball, and it could happen at Rebellion where she turns on Moose. So I'm taking Agent Zero.
That's pretty impressed. That's pretty fair.
So Jose and I have got Moose, and you've got Agent Zero.
Yeah, let me ask this real quick. Is that really going to hurt Moose if he takes a loss to Agent Zero where you're trying to build him?
I don't know.
Yes.
Like, are you going to see him less? Are you going to see him less? Like, are you not going to really get hyped up when you hear Moose, even if he lost to Agent Zero? Like, if Agent Zero loses, he's just a no. He's just a bodyguard that does nothing. He's like, you don't you.
Okay, you convinced me. I'll go Zero.
I'm still going to pick Moose.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just putting it out there.
Next up, Knockouts World Title Match. Arianna Grace with Stacks in her corner defends against Ying Lee with Zaya Brookside and hers. For the love of God, just pull the trigger, have Zaya turn heel, and join the Birthright already.
I'm with you on that, and that's what's going to happen.
Arianna wins, and then hopefully by Slammiversary, they'll get her to drop the title. I mean, my biggest gripe with heel champions like Arianna, it's the same problem I had with JC Jane before she dropped it at the NXT Women's title at Stand Deliver to Lola. They can't, the whole thing of can't win a match on their own is annoying to me.
But that's what the heels are supposed to. They're supposed to annoy you. They're supposed to get you upset. You're not supposed to like how she wins her titles, how she retains her titles, because that's not being a heel.
I get it, but I mean, you heard how I basically went off in jubilation, telling JC to go fuck herself after she dropped it, Stand Deliver, right?
I know. Mets, that's the same thing that Roman got when he was champion for 1,316 days. Oh, he can't win without the Usos. It's a copy and paste tip. The Ric Flair with the Horsemen. Although Ric Flair could run circles on his own, but still there was a lot of times that Ric Flair had the Horsemen's interference to retain his world title. It's just classic wrestling with the heels. It's just that's what it is. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to get you irate.
I mean, if one thing I do hate the New Japan's doing now, it's now they're doing that mold with the United Empire, a group I respected because true, they were heels. When they wanted to, they could play dirty, but more often than not, they didn't. They let their wrestling skills do their talking for them. And now, ever since Will flew the coop and the Empire's been rebuilt under Newman, congratulations to the new youngest ever IWGP heavyweight champion, it's been get the ref bump, low blow, get the win for Callum.
You see, that's all across the wrestling board in all companies, and that's the manuscript of wrestling heels.
But there comes a
modus operandi, more or less.
But there comes a point where a fan wants to march to the front office and tell them enough is enough. And the script writers, I mean, those in the gorilla position, enough is enough. Either way, we're all in agreement. Arianna retains?
Yes.
Yeah. There's no champion. Ying Lee's not winning. She's going to get her heart broken.
So then who do you put the belt on at Slammiversary? Indy, she's still in recovery.
There isn't a female knockout in TNA that has risen to the top to be the face of the company except for Tessa. And everybody, and for some reason, if TNA is getting bad publicity this week, Jesus Christ, if they put that title on Tessa, the terrible, oh my goodness. I mean, the IWC will melt. Twitter will definitely melt. But they should.
Most people,
including
myself, would want to pump Tessa full of lead.
See, that's my point. Tessa should be the face of the Knockouts division, and she should go on a freaking through almost a 1.5 year run until there's a fee. There is no baby face. There is no knockouts right now that you want that people are going to pump a lot of money to go watch. And until you want to see Ash with the title, she's cringe. She can't get on the microphone. She's cringe. Unless she's on Oni's fans, she's not going to be appealing. Right now, Andy Hartwell, she's great and all, but there's not really a personality behind her. She's very nice. She's a very beautiful, nice young lady, but there's nothing to gravitate to you.
What next? Bring it or have one of the legends just return for a short-term title reign. That's not going to work either.
Then you're bringing someone from the outside, a female, an older female. Might as well get a female with a younger female, like I'm going to throw this like a Zarya, that could wrestle, looks impressive, and you're like, oh damn. But so for that, I just go, hey, you want to keep it in-house for Tessa then. And then I hear the complaint, NXT taking TNA talent, but there's nothing. Ladies, step up. Right now, M by Elegance isn't ready yet. She's going to be, not yet.
And don't get me started on Rosemary. The injury bug constantly bites her.
And she's trying to get revamped and she's doing on a side quest, and she does get popular. A lot of reaction. Just listen to when she showed up on NXT. People love Rosemary. Rosemary has a personality that people will like, but like you said, Mets, what about the injury angle? She gets hurt again. You got to do a tournament, yada, 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 and all that stuff. So TNA is a little reluctant to probably push a little bit of Rosemary, see if she's healthy. Dani Luna, let's face it, she's great in ring, but she's not face of the knockouts division either. It's like they don't have a knockout right now. Jada Stone, she's too new, too fresh, too peachy. Not quite there yet. And keep an eye out for Mila Moore and by Elegance, but they're not ready. They're about a year away. So that's my point.
Moving on, partner.
Okay, now we reach the semi-main event, as they say, for the TNA World Tag Team titles. You have the Hardys, Jeff and Matt, versus the System, Bear Bronson and Brian Myers.
If the System doesn't get the World or X Division titles, the tag titles would be the ones that make most sense to swap hands.
This is a little, as of 2 days ago, I was thinking the Systems are Bear Bronson, Brian Myers were going to win the title. Then this nonsense with the TNA pulling the Creative Pro. But Myers is a half of a. It has nothing to do, but this is still human beings. Where Pat Buck today comes out and talks nonsense, and he's the other half of Creative Pro, and I'm like, could they punish Brian Myers here and Bear Bronson? Not giving the tag team titles to take it away from the Hardys, your most popular tag team. And I said, the System really needs these titles. I want to say the System wins this, but I'm going to make an audible. I think the Hardys retain. I think the Righteous are going to eventually take those titles. It was supposed to be the System. I think the Hardys, as of right now, I think that they're making a change, and I think the Hardys are keeping the titles.
So you're basically saying after the little stunt Myers pulled on that podcast, slam the gavel and throw the book at them and rescind a potential tag title win.
I think so. And also Pat Buck didn't help his partner of Creative Pro putting that nonsense out there today on X and pretty much attacking Carlos Silva and all that and glazing Tony Khan and all that nonsense. It's just sometimes the less you say, the better things. You just let things de-escalate.
The less is more.
And it's I don't know. I know it shouldn't be involved with the creative, but we're still humans, and there's a lot of pettiness and a lot of animosity, and people, I don't know. Although Carlos Silva doesn't get involved in creative, but there's a way of creative saying, "We got your back, Ross."
True.
Yeah.
Fade away and classify yourselves as obsolete, System. You get deleted by the Hardys.
Yeah, I think so.
Agreed.
With all the bad publicity, you need them to keep that title around their waist so people could come see, because they are the draw. People want to see the Hardys in TNA right now, and if you keep them and they were going to make the title change because I think Matt Hardy's having some personal marital issues outside of wrestling, and I said this is a good time for him to drop the titles, take less dates, try to work things out, but it is what it is.
And finally, the main event. Eddie Edwards Feast or Fire cash-in as he challenges TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana. Okay. If they're going to have this title change happen, whether it's Santana getting the W over Edwards and then Nick Nemeth jumping him and cashing in Collier shot, or Eddie beating Santana and fending off Nemeth's attempt to Collier shot, the title's got to switch hands here.
I agree.
As much as I would love to see Mike Santana not only spin the block and knock Eddie's fucking block off, it's not going to happen. Eddie Edwards enters Cleveland Challenger. And like the Boston Red Sox, when they embarrassed the Cleveland then Indians, still hate the name of the Guardians, by the way, in the 2007 ALCS, he leaves TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
I think Mike wins. I don't think Mike loses. Unless, like we said, if Nick Nemeth loses to AJ Francis, then he cashes in. That match is going to dictate what TNA Creative is going to do for the rest of the night, because the hometown guy Nick Nemeth wins the title at home, and then you got Boney Crows at the end celebrating. But then it makes him a baby face, where maybe Ryan Nemeth makes his intentions heel after Nick Nemeth wins the TNA World Title. I don't know. It's just TNA. Expect the unexpected.
True.
Yup.
In any case, that's it for tonight's episode of the MegaMets. I'd like to thank Kevin for returning for the show.
Thank you.
We'll be back. The three of us will probably reconvene again for Slammiversary. When is that? June 28th?
It is actually in June. It's actually earlier this time around. It's not in July. It's in June. And yes, it'll be from Massachusetts, Boston.
Yes, that means Against All Odds will be in July.
Pretty much.
They haven't said it. Last time it was in May. It was early June, late May, right after the NXT PLE.
After Battleground.
After Battleground. Thank you. I couldn't remember that one. I was like, what the hell was that paper? Was it No Mercy? Was it? Yeah, thank you. It was Battleground.
In any case, comment, like, and subscribe to us and to Jose and I and to Kevin. This is it for the MegaMets podcast. We'll be back tomorrow night for our predictions to AEW Dynasty 2026.
Have a good one, guys.
Indeed.
May the sports be with you, and goodbye and good night. Bang.
Bang. I'll see you then.